Hello everyone, welcome back! I'm Gaming Quitte, the most delicious Quitte of them all, and today we're taking a look at Undercover Grace and Farren. Both appear on the new Gala Dragalia remix banner and will be added to the permanent summoning pool after that. Let's take a look at Grace first, but before we do, if you end up enjoying the video, remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Undercover Grace is a flame sword, and while she is classified as an attack unit, her kit kinda feels like a support unit, but only at first glance. Once you take a closer look, she has the potential for some interesting damage possibilities. Her first skill, Soul Deprivation, deals one hit of 2200% damage and reduces the enemy's strength by 10%. Her second skill, Flame Tongue and Bound, deals one hit of 1000 damage to multiple targets. The skill can only be used when Grace has at least one soul seal, which we will talk about soon, and it will consume all soul seals when doing so. Depending on the number of soul seals consumed, which has a maximum amount of 4, it will grant defense amps. So if you have 4 seals, you will instantly get 4 defense amps, which means at least one team amp right away and another for Grace's personal use. The attack will also deal as many hits as seals you have consumed. This means her second skill has huge damage potential with at least over 4000% damage, but I wonder if you'll ever be able to stack it all up perfectly and use it in the right moment for the big fat shot. Grace has the standard core ability, which increases the Dragon Gauge fill rate by 15%. Her chain core ability increases strength by 15% when the unit's HP is at 40% or below. I think my beloved Chelsea might benefit from this, although there are probably better options in the backline. So her first ability gives Undercover Grace her special effects. Every time Soul Deprivation, her first skill, connects with an enemy, she gets a soul seal. Depending on how many seals Grace has, she gets more effects by this ability. It starts out with a damage increase of 10% at 1 stack and ends at 4 stacks, which increases the damage she deals by 80%. But every time she attacks, she will take damage equal to 2% of her maximum HP, similar to what Chelsea has with her 3% damage she gets with every attack. This not only means skills, but also normal auto attacks keep that in mind. When Grace shapeshifts, all current soul seals will be lost, so make sure to use her second skill to use them up before you shapeshift. Undercover Grace is a stun resistant unit, and her third ability gives Grace an HP regen effect whenever she has a team defense amp. So it seems like you basically wanna stack up the soul seals and then blast away with her second skill when she is at low HP. But a character like her is pretty difficult to play if you wanna maximize her potential. Especially in content like Legend Volk, because you're usually being healed a lot, but even without being able to use her own chain core ability, her second skill can hit pretty hard. Or you could just maximize damage done by her first skill and not even use up the soul seals, but then you'll be taking damage constantly. I do think she has high potential to deal good amounts of damage, but it's a bit more difficult with her than with, for example, a Gala Leonidas, where you basically just press your thumb on the screen to win. Her strength reduction effect and the defense amp will help her and others to survive, which is always pretty nice. I really like her kit and I kinda wanna summon for her, but I really shouldn't. I'm not so sure if I'm strong enough to resist right now, but we will see. Now, another reason why I would like to summon on this banner, honestly, is Farren. He's a pretty cool dude, especially because he is a Dragon Drive unit and I enjoyed those a lot. So before we take a look at his skills, let's take a look at his first ability, which gives him the Dragon Drive gauge. The Worm-bound Shell ability grants Farren a Dragon Drive gauge. Once you've filled the gauge enough, you can go into Dragon Drive form by tapping the corresponding button. During Dragon Drive, his skills change, his standard attack and his force strike changes, and if you hit with them, the Dragon Drive gauge fills up. He also does more damage the higher his HP are, and his defense is increased by 20%. Farren's first skill, Mighty Protector, deals 5 hits of 400% damage to the enemies. This means he deals 2000 damage to the enemies directly ahead. It also grants him a defense amp and fills up his Dragon Drive gauge. During Dragon Drive, the damage of this skill is at 520% for all 5 hits each, but it will decrease the less HP he has. He can lose up to 90% of his damage when his HP is low, so make sure to not get hit and stay healed up. Using the skill will still increase his gauge though, which is usually the other way around for Dragon Drive units. His second skill, No Holds Barred, normally consumes his entire Dragon gauge and restores its own HP based on the amount consumed. This can recover up to an additional 140% of his max HP. If you use his second skill during Dragon Drive, it consumes some of his gauge and deals one hit of 3250% damage and fills the skill gauge of No Holds Barred back up to 50%. Just like his first skill, you can lose up to 90% of the damage if you are at lower HP. So like I already said, make sure you are healed up before you use this powerful skill. Farren is a dagger unit with the standard co-ability, which increases the critical rate by 10%. His chain co-ability increases shadow resistance by 6% if the HP is at 80% or higher. Farren is a curse resistant unit, and his third ability gradually fills his Dragon Drive gauge whenever he has a team defense amp. I kinda like how Grace and Farren have quite the opposite ways of dealing damage. While Grace wants to be at lower HP to deal more damage thanks to her chain co-ability, Farren has to be fully healed up to use his full potential. This makes Farren difficult to play because once you've got hit, you will lose out on potential damage with your skills. I'm curious to see how strong his auto attacks will be, but I'm sure his main damage will still come from using skills. His first skill gives you defense amps, but they have no cooldown and the skill costs aren't that high. Depending on his skill energy gain in Dragon Drive form, you might be able to stack them up pretty quickly. Also, for Farren, I felt like it's never been more important to not get poisoned, because you'll literally get weaker with every poison take, so make sure you will stay healthy. Now let's quickly take a look at the two featured Gala units on the Gala remix. I talked about Gala Mascula in his own video a while ago, you can check it out for a bigger analysis. I think he's a really nice pickup if you don't have him, simply because he's strong and super unique and fun to play. Gala Thor on the other hand is still a good dragon, but only outside of Curse of Nihility content. The reason for that is that he mainly relies on energy mechanics to be strong, and Nihility completely deletes that. Overall, I would say this would technically be a good banner to summon on if you like Grace and Farren while also needing Gala Mascula. But the next big banner will probably be the anniversary banner, and after that we will get trapped in limited season hell. So you should probably skip this banner if your Wormite stack is not as big as it should be, especially because those two aren't limited. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, and like I said, please subscribe to the channel if you want to support me and watch more of my videos. Tell me in the comments below what you think about this banner and if you're going to summon on it. If you want to brag about your summons, you can do that once the banner hit on our Discord. The link for that is in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!